Seattle not too long, it was back in week 4, and he went crazy about the Giants because they hip dropped him, and he said by the grace of God he survived the hip drop, and now we see Jordan Travis. The problem is
what's crazy is the Geno Smith
let me
one
finish, Richard. I'm speaking. Thank you.
I'll let you speak, but you're not speaking from experience. So stop raising your voice, Skip. Okay. Talk to me, Skip.
All right. Are you going to let me speak or not?
And so here we go again, back with another one. Welcome to the Dark Times channel. And before I go ahead and get started, make sure you guys go ahead and smash that like button for me. And if you're not new to the channel and you enjoy the content so far on this channel, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me as well. And so let's go ahead and get into it. As you all probably already know, Skip Bayless is definitely no stranger when it comes to controversy surrounding his show.
This is just straight hate by a guy who's jealous that he is still playing at a high level at 45 when you had to stop at 35.
I did what I did. You make it seem like I was a bum. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame.
Okay,
I got 3 Super Bowls.
So what?
So what?
He's way better than you were.
I'm better than you.
Better.
Skip, what did I got to see what you do? Take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal shot at you.
Wait a minute.
Put your glasses back on.
And so Skip Bayless over the years has shown a pattern that he's unable, or at least unwilling, to get along with high caliber black athletes.
Just because you're a power forward, that doesn't make you physical. Just because you're a shooting guard, that don't mean you can jack up threes. That's
What
just
were you,
position.
Jalen? What were you?
Where were you? Did you
What were you?
Did you average 1.4 points as a senior in high school?
Yeah, I did.
Skip was never, Jalen was never allowed to do another first take ever again. Like it was, he was a banned.
Told you, some of the worst judges of personnel are the best players. Michael Jordan's the worst GM in the history.
So now
we also debate the fact that as reporters, when our objectivity is skewed for whatever reason, that might factor
So a reporter can't be
So he's
wrong.
a player. He might be subjective because of that. You're a reporter. You may be subjective.
So you tell me there aren't bad reporters that have jobs reporting compared to John Elway with his skill level?
Like, I agree. I've always had a good eye for talent. You can look at my draft record on this show.
So you discredit my ability to be
No, I'm just saying you're wrong about this one. Just this one.
I did play
You're not
the game.
giving him any credit.
I did give him credit.
Okay, but you're saying don't give him so much
So
credit.
in other words, hold on. So if we don't believe, all right, he played the game. I certainly have never played football.
Into you laughing. You laughed the last time. What happened?
Wait a minute.
You ate it again and again and again.
Let me ask you a question.
How many times were you wrong, Chris Carter? How many times? 7 times.
I know I went to 8 Pro Bowls and played 16 years.
Yeah, and how many rings do you have?
I ain't got none. You got same amount as you.
No, I don't.
Same amount as you.
Have you moved at all on your opinion of Tim Tebow? I know you said
I
he's
need
not
to
a
see
starter.
more of him.
And so at the root of it, Skip Bayless has no respect for the black athlete, unless they're saying exactly what he wants to hear. And he'll play nice and he'll get along with them for a little while, but it always comes out one way or another. And so back to this latest incident with Richard Sherman. And this is an incident where I don't think Skip Bayless actually raised his voice. I don't think he actually did anything wrong. But this is about something else for Richard Sherman. I guarantee you this had very little to do with what Skip Bayless said or how he said it. But this was something else. This is something else that maybe went on behind the scenes, something that happened earlier that we didn't see. And I think is carrying over.
The slingshot effect is increasing the injury risk 25 times. So now we've seen Tony Pollard career threatening. We've seen Mark Andrews career threatening, although they say he might try to come back. I'll believe it when I see it. We saw Geno Smith throw a fit in Seattle not too long, it was back in week 4, and he went crazy about the Giants because they hip dropped him, and he said by the grace of God he survived the hip drop, and now we see Jordan Travis. The problem is
what's crazy is the Geno Smith one.
Let me finish, Richard. I'm speaking. Thank you.
I'll let you speak, but you're not speaking from experience. So stop raising your voice, Skip. Okay. Talk to me, Skip.
All right. Are you going to let me speak or not?
And so as I said earlier, I don't think Skip Bayless did anything wrong in this particular segment. I don't think he raised his voice. I think he was talking and Richard Sherman was trying to talk over him. And I think he corrected Richard Sherman and said, hey, can I finish my point? And Richard Sherman let him have it. And I'm not mad at it because Skip Bayless is somebody who had it coming. And I can understand the frustration of somebody like a Keyshawn Johnson or Richard Sherman, individuals who played the game at an extremely high level, who've won Super Bowls, who knows what it is to be in the trenches. And you got a journalist telling you that you're seeing something that you're not seeing. And so I can understand the frustration of a Richard Sherman. Like I said earlier, Skip Bayless is somebody that has shown over and over again that he doesn't have any respect when it comes to former black athletes or current black athletes for that matter. Now, if you're Tom Brady or somebody like that, that's a different story. But for the average black athlete or for the average Hall of Famer black athlete, nah, there's no respect for him. And so this is something that is definitely carried over from a previous incident. And I don't necessarily believe that it was an incident on the show. It could have been something behind the scenes. It could have been in the pre-show when they were getting their takes together. But there was something. There was something that Sherman let go that he wished he didn't let go. And I guarantee you in the back of his mind, because Sherman is somewhat of a high-level thinker. You know, he's a Stanford graduate. And so he strikes me as the kind of guy that would bite his tongue and wait for the right time to strike. If he felt like he was hurt, his ego was hurt, or whatever the case may be, he's the kind of guy that will wait for the right moment to strike back. He knows the situation that Skip Bayless is in. Skip Bayless is pretty much on his last leg. You know, he's jumped from ESPN to Fox, hasn't really been able to get along with anybody long term. And I think Richard Sherman and Keyshawn Johnson is pretty much his last chance at any kind of relevancy. And so I don't think this trio is going to last too much longer. I think it's only a matter of time before there's another blow up like we saw with Shannon Sharpe. And Richard Sherman is definitely not the guy to hold his tongue. He's not the one, as they say, which is one of the reasons I thought it was an interesting hire by Skip Bayless, knowing how Skip Bayless is and knowing how Richard Sherman is. And maybe that's the reason why Skip Bayless thought it was going to work. He thought the contrast would be good television. And I don't think the kind of blow up that Skip Bayless and Richard Sherman could potentially have is going to be good for either one. That's going to be something like we've never seen. And I don't think that's going to make for good television, at least not in the way that Skip Bayless was hoping it to be. But we'll see. Like I said, only time will tell. But that's going to be it for this one. Definitely go ahead and drop a like in the comment section. Got some more videos hoping to drop today. So make sure you got your alerts on and be on the lookout for those. And as usual, peace and chaos.